Do more by doing less. With me, Charles Alexander, for small business owners, startups, and busy folks.
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Jennifer, insurance agent, came to see me and she was frustrated. She did not understand the concept of needing to create her own content. She's an independent agent, which means that she can shop out among a wide variety of different carriers, and she would get free content, so to speak, from, let's say, Erie, Hartford, a few of these other places. And it was fine content. And yes, I know the word content is drastically overused at this point, but till we get a better one, that's what I'm using. She would get social media posts. She would get free stock footage. She would get an infographic. She'd get a video that looked like everybody else's video. And when I was talking to her about really needing to brand it for herself, because when people buy insurance, in my opinion, they're really buying the agent, the person that they're working with, not just the name brand, because a lot of insurance, quite frankly, even though there's differences in the policies, isn't a world apart difference. And this is where I could see the frustration kicking in. She was telling me, like, yeah, Charles, I understand that, but insurance is boring and people don't want to hear about insurance from somebody like me. There's only so many ways that I can entertain them. And then she kind of went off on this little tangent about how insurance isn't supposed to be a stand-up comedian, that a green gecko or progressive or a llama or insert whatever here wasn't really going to help somebody when they had a car wreck or they had a fire in their home. And she really went on a tangent and said, it just frustrates me so much. I work hard, I show up, I do what I'm supposed to do. And if people only knew how important this was, when I was just a little girl and, our house caught fire and we didn't have anywhere to live and we didn't have the proper insurance and we had to go from family to family. And she just was almost in tears. And I stopped her and said, hey, wait, I think we've got your first piece of content, Jennifer. And at that point, she started to get it a little bit. So in her case, said, well, let's dive into that, write it down, tell the story, how it affected you, how it was personal, because that's what people want to see. When you're creating your own content, you're making it personal. Yes, first and foremost, it's about your client, your prospective client, how they feel, their issue, feelings being a big key to that, whether it's overwhelm, frustration, whatever it is, and how you solve it, but then still giving them that happy ending, the hero's journey, so to speak. But the content still has to be personal to you. So for her, we stopped and looked at it and said, okay, well, what else could content be? Well, I really don't know. I mean, it's all kind of the same. It's okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let's look at your top 12 list for most frequently asked questions. What are the questions you answer day in, day out that you're almost sick of answering, that you almost can do it on autopilot? So, well, I don't know. There's people don't really understand the difference between content and dwelling, or they don't understand they should buy what type of insurance if they still, if they rent a car, what, should they buy the renter's insurance? What does liability coverage cover? And then she went on and on and on and on. I was like, well, I can write them all down. Let's write them all down. In her case, let's answer the questions. That's what people are looking to get from us, not in the maybe same standard format each and every time, but we want to put ourselves in a position when we hear these questions over and over, we want to be the lead resource. We want to be seen as the authority, the expert. Maybe not thought leader. That one's gotten out of control a little bit, but the rest of them, that's what we want. We want them to seek us out before anybody else. And when I say top 12, ideally you're top 24. And I'll show you kind of what I mean by top 24. Top 24 gives you 2 brand new big pieces of content every single month. A great book written by Marcus Sheridan, They Ask You Answer, really helps clarify a lot of how you do this. And it's not complicated. It's pretty simple. When people ask you the same questions over and over, answer them and answer them in a free, fun, story-based format that they want to get that information in. It doesn't have to be full-blown entertaining. Nobody's expecting you to be Jerry Bruckheimer, Steven Spielberg. I don't know why I said Bruckheimer. He's not a big fan of his. Martin Scorsese. They don't expect you to be Martin Scorsese. They just expect you to be able to answer it in a fun, personal manner. So for her, we got, I don't remember. It was more than 12, less than 24 questions written down. What's the next step? Answering them. The easiest way, as of right now, to answer these questions is, let's say, in a video. You can answer it in a video. I'm using a video podcast, just like what we're doing right here. I record in StreamYard. StreamYard is not the only tool out there. There are several that will do it, Riverside, a few other ones, but it's pretty simple. You just create the question, create the answer, tell a story with it, try to do it. It depends. 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, not any longer than that when you get started. Our attention spans aren't quite what they used to be. That's your first step, is to write down your questions. Next is to answer those questions. And then 3, put it in a format where they can get the answers in a usable form, in a usable way. She asked a question, what's the difference between content and dwellings? And she had this neat little kind of way she told, like, if a giant came, picked your house up, shook it upside down, everything that falls out, that's contents. Everything inside, that's the dwelling. If it's attached, it's a dwelling. If it's not, it's a content. And I can tell you from personal experience, I used to train people at the corporate office at ServPro, Fire and Water Cleanup Company, to go in and do cleanup and restoration during fire damages and water damages. And I would go out and do on the job training sometimes, just so I would have to practice what I preached a little bit. And I remember in this one, oh, it was terrible, one water damage we went into. People's homes had water 2-3 feet up the walls. It was a flood damage. And as we were going through, cutting out drywall, putting in these dehumidifiers, giant air movers, fans, but air movers as they called them, we were coming across a lot of contents that looked like they had been basically destroyed. Clothes, furniture, whatever's on the ground. And we were bagging it up. Hadn't talked to the homeowner about it. And the homeowner busted out almost in tears, say, don't throw all those away. Oh, I'm sorry. Do they have sentimental value? Your insurance will cover it. No, we don't have contents insurance. We only have dwelling insurance. Boom. That is important. So Jennifer's making a video kind of about this. So once she gets the video, this is the third step. First step, write the questions down. Second, answer the questions. Third, create a video. Once you create that video, you have unlimited potential to take that video and turn it into a lot of other pieces of content. First thing you want to do is to be able to take that video itself and edit it a little bit. And there's a ton of free online tools. There's a ton of tools you might even want to pay for. One I use is Descript, and it's pretty inexpensive. It's got a little bit of a learning curve to it, but you can take the video, upload it, and it will automatically transcribe it, meaning it'll give you the words that you are saying. And in my case, you might have noticed I have a bit of a country accent. It can speak Tennessean as well, so it's great. And it will even remove filler words, like, if you tell it to, and it will shorten word gaps if you have too many spaces in there. And it gives you the chance to edit it, just add other media to it. It's great. And then, so you've got the video, you've got it edited. You can take that video and shorten it down into multiple smaller clips. You can make vertical reels out of it to use on TikTok, on Instagram, or on Facebook reels. And those need to be 60 to 90 seconds long, depending on the platform. And you can have, it will do subtitles for you as well. Or you can make them longer formats. Or you can take them and chop them down into smaller videos if you've got a long one like I'm doing here with a podcast. And that gives you a ton of video content just off one video. Then you take that transcription and it can become a blog post. And I say blog, maybe blog's not even the right term anymore, but it can be written content that you use, that you can put on your website, that answers people's questions. And you can drive people back with email marketing that uses that same written content. People still read on occasion. You can use that written content in a variety of ways. And I know this is going to sound, controversial is not the right term, but with all of the AI writing tools that are out there, if you're not super happy with the transcription and you feel like you could have said it in a little bit better, or you just want it to be cleaned up, use an AI writing tool. I'm embarrassed to say I use ChatGPT quite a bit. I don't use it for my core writing, but I use it as a prompt. If I can't think of what to write, or I want to clean something up, or I just want to clean the grammar up, it will do it for you. Pop it in there, tell it to clean the grammar up, or even say, hey, take this, 5,000 word rant of mine and turn it into a 500-word article, and it will, if you play with enough, it will give you something that's useful, and then you can clean it up. You can add your own 2 cents worth. You can tell your personal story within it that the magic AI bot doesn't know. So that can be a long form written, and then you can take that long form written post and turn it into multiple social media posts. If you got, here's 5 ways to tell the difference between contents and dwelling, make them each point its own content post, and get images, add images to it, your own images, not stock photo, but break out the camera, take some high resolution photos and make them presentable. Add that to the social media post. And again, you can use the AI writing tools to help you say, hey, can you break this down into a multiple social media post for me? And it will do that. You can take that long form written content that was answering somebody's question and make it a lead magnet. For those of you that don't know, a lead magnet is that thing when you go to somebody's website and it says, here's 99 ways to be more productive. Download now. All you got to do is give it your email address. That is a lead magnet. It can be a checklist, a guide, a infographic, a video, whatever it is. Turn that into a lead magnet. And then that's another piece of content you've got. For this, I'm taking the audio out of the video, and that becomes my podcast. So that's an easier way to help create your own podcast. Or you can take snippets of audio out and use it for social media posts or for your email marketing. And God forbid, after all this is said and done, you can even do a little print marketing as well if you still do some print advertising. I'm not meaning a full page ad in the local newspaper, but in a brochure, in a flyer. For those of us that are out there that still attend a lot of in-person networking events, those can come in handy as well. 3 simple steps right away. And we were able to work with her, use that one post to create a piece of content. And we had the video, had multiple bits of the video, had audio, turned it into print, turned it into a blog post, turned it into email marketing, turned it into social posts. And I get the hesitancy around doing this. We often like to make the excuse that people are too narcissistic. They don't want to see your face and you're putting yourself at the front. It should be all about the customer. Make it about the customer, but it's still got to be your smiling face, because that's how people build a know, like, and trust factor. It's not a quick fix. This is a long-term game plan. And if you're looking to do a few pieces, and I've had several other clients that have tried similar tactics and said, well, we tried that, did it for about a week, and I don't know, it just didn't work for us. It's something you have to do over and over and over. And the hesitancy is about putting your own stories out there, putting your own spin on it. Because if people don't like it, don't click, reply, comment, buy, there ain't nobody else to blame. It's all on us because we put our face, our story on it. And that's kind of where the buck stops. So I get the anxiety, the worry about it, the concern that the snarky cousin is going to see it and say something at the Thanksgiving dinner that will embarrass us. But it's worth doing, and it's what our customers are looking for. Lastly, and this isn't one of the 1, 2, 3 steps, but try to also find a way to make it different. And I don't have a great answer for that other than to possibly look at a different industry than what you're in. So if Jennifer's doing this, she may not want to look at what all the other insurance agents are doing. Maybe she wants to go look at what a local restaurant is doing that gets a bunch of great feedback and people love their content, and then apply what she can to her own. And I see people do this all of the time. They'll go look at what is Disney doing? What is Nike doing? And how can I apply that as a car dealership or a caterer? Sounds a little silly, but it can help you stand out in a crowd while you're still using your own content. So either way, back to Jennifer. She started doing this a little bit. She's sputtered and stopped, but she gets the concept. And that's really what I want for you. Creating your own content can be daunting. The idea that I want you to be able to do more of the work you love and less of the stuff you don't, this is one of the easier ways to do that. Answer the people's questions, put it in a format that they want to see, they want to like, they want to read. A quick referral piece, I think it is called, I'm looking, riverpoolsandspas.com. Dude that wrote the book, they ask you, answer Marcus Sheridan. This is how he got started. Years ago when we had the Great Recession, he was trying to find a way for them to stay afloat. And that's exactly what he did. He just started answering the customers' questions over and over. Now they've become one of the top pool companies in America simply by doing that. You can go to their site and they have a learning hub. They have answered every question humanly possible. And it's not just great to build authority, it's great for search engine optimization and getting found on the Google machine. So that's the 3 steps for you. Find the questions, answer them, put it in a format they want to see, and that's how you get started with creating your own content. Wait, don't run off just yet. Do me a big favor, hit the little plus sign to subscribe, scroll down wherever you are, and leave a very honest 5-star review and tell other people why they should be listening. And if you don't, an angel may in fact lose its wings. True story. Have a great day.